Hello everyone, I'm Thomas. Today I'm going to talk about Nazi Germany. I believe it is a widely known fact of what happened during World War II in Germany, include the insane fanaticism for Hitler and the notorious Holocaust. While these facts are often recognized by people, few people know and understand Germans and Jewish perspective of the experience living under this time frame. Without knowing this, we may lose the key point of fully understanding the Nazi regime. Today, I'm going to reveal the truth of life in Nazi Germany by introducing the book, What We Know, Terror, Mass Murder, and Everyday Life in Nazi Germany, and Oral History by Eric A. Johnson and Karl-Heinz Reuband, who both specialize in modern German history. The book is structured in 4 parts: interviews with Jewish people, German people, the statistics and analysis about Jewish and German people's opinion and facts. This structure helps readers to interact and understand the stand of different perspectives toward history. The book contains several interviews from Jewish and ordinary Germans who lived through the Nazi Germany and the Holocaust, where they share their experience and the facts they've seen. The book also contains several surveys and statistics that help with the understanding of how much people were aware of the crimes of Nazi Germany. Overall, based on different perspectives from people's authentic experiences, the book centers on a question: how popular was Nazi Party in Germany, and how much did ordinary Germans know about the crimes Nazi regime committed? Although after the war, initially, Germans' stance was to blame Hitler and Nazi for the crimes while claiming they had little to do with it. From the interviews, the book argued 2 points. Firstly, there is no doubt that Nazi won popularity in Germany, and the Germans were a lot more aware of the Nazi regime's anti-Semitic crimes, including concentration camp and the Holocaust, but they chose to be silent. After World War I, with Treaty of Versailles, Germany was forced to take full responsibility for the war, enduring several severe punishments such as paying a huge financial penalty, which they finished paying in 2010, and territory loss for the war. This caused Germany to suffer from drastic loss of national pride and economic decline, which they called hyperinflation. A notable point here is that many Germans believe that they would won the war if they didn't surrender. But things have only gotten worse since then. In 1929, the Great Depression hit, causing significant inflation and unemployment of 24% as the highest point in 1932 and 1933. You can see how bad the situation was compared to the unemployment rate now in Germany of only 3.5%. One of the propaganda and theme of Nazi during the campaign was to bring Germany back to its former glory, which many Germans sympathized with it. Many people, although they did not fully support Nazis' aggressive ideas, chose to support Nazi due to the disappointment to the current situation and the promise made by Nazis. And the Nazis did fulfill their promises to significantly reduce the unemployment rate. In just 4 years of Nazis' rule, in 1936, the unemployment rate was cut into half. In 1938, they started to have a shortage of workers. From the data table that titled What People Like Best About National Socialism by Cities, you can see that most people favor fighting against unemployment, which is over 60%. And the second is having less criminals, which is over 50%, while the anti-Semitic policy only favor less than 5% of the population. This data table that titled Belief in National Socialism shows that more than half of the Germans believe in Nazi, while less than half of the Germans do not believe in Nazi party. However, the next data table that titled Admire Hitler shows that less than half of the population admire Hitler, while more people do not admire Hitler. Lastly, the data that titled Shared Nazi Ideals shows that about half of average averagely about half of the population share Nazi ideas, while half of the population do not share Nazi ideas. This prosperity of the society explains the reason why Nazis were widely supported even when they didn't agree with the political ideology of Nazi or admire Hitler. Quoted from the book, even among people who said they opposed the regime, there was a majority who crossed this, which is the unemployment rate on the survey. However, recall from the graph, about 40% of the people admire Hitler is still quite a significant number. Like in a democratic country, people usually wouldn't say that they would admire their leader. They would most likely say that they support or agree with what their leaders are doing. This infers that there were a large proportion of the society that fantasized for Hitler. A lot of this is due to the image and portrayal of Hitler in common people's perspective. Nazis' propaganda for Hitler often portrays him to have some superhuman characteristics, and he is also portrayed as the idol for young men to learn and to seek for. In the interview, people expressed that they feel protected by Hitler as he was credited for several positive achievements for people to believe that he brought Germany back to life and to the former glory as he promised. Hitler is also known for his often public visibility, that he often appears to his enthusiasts and interact with them. Overall, the evidence the author provides clearly shows Nazis' popularity among Germans, and the credibility was established through both first-hand experience and statistics. Another major point in the book is that ordinary German knew about the anti-Semitic crimes Nazi regime committed. The book gives a solid answer to this question that yes, there are more Germans who at least know a little aspect about what's happening. Based on both Jewish and German experiences, anti-Semitic propaganda like this, and this are often seen on the streets, and there is even a movie about it. From the interview with a Jewish person in 1930s, the Nazi songs and anti-Semitic materials were already taught in school, and Jewish kids like him often face discrimination. From this evidence, you can see that anti-Semitism is rooted in everyday life, especially for young generations. So it is clear that ordinary Germans can see this anti-Semitism going in the society, and Hitler also never hides that from his speeches. Here is the data to show that ordinary Germans knew at least some aspects of the persecutions against Jewish people. From the data set, you can see a title, Level of Knowledge of Mass Murder of Jews. You can see that about 1/3 of the population at least heard or knew about this murder, and about 10% of the population is suspecting that there's a murder happening. So with this much of people knowing something wrong is happening, then why is there no sign of protest or at least voice out for the Jewish? Because you can recall from the previous graph, there are only less than 5% of people who believe that persecution of Jews is a great thing that Nazi did. And most Germans were not really afraid of getting arrested by the Gestapo, which is the Nazi secret police, like the Jews, and claimed by Hitler Young that Gestapo was very nice to him, and they are mostly very nice to the Aryan German. So the inaction was not out of fear. However, because of blockade of information, although many people realized there was a mass transportation of Jewish people, it is commonly believed that they were only sent to labor camp and they were paid, while murdering parts still remained a rumor. And also, receiving the information is not the same as actually believing it. And due to the success of the propaganda, in many interviews, the younger generation, especially the Hitler youngs believe Hitler was doing the right thing as he always did. The evidence that, in conclusion, the source used in the book is effective as there's many data and statistics to provide. However, there's a systematic error that may exist from the interviews, as the interviews are all conducted after the World War II, which people may not be honest with their original opinions during the war about Hitler and Nazi regime. Overall, the Nazi regime and the Holocaust left a long-term legacy to the world and to especially Germany and the Jews. First of all, Germany was forced to take even more severe punishment and responsibility for causing the war. And the Jews, because of this Holocaust, they were able to establish the first Jewish state of Israel. Lastly, for the world, the Nazi regime reminds people of how dangerous dictatorship is. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a deeper understanding of Nazi regime. Bye-bye.